Hey everyone, it's Austin from DIYCarLab.com. Today we're going to pull the motor out of this 1970 Karmann Ghia. A couple things you'll have to unhook are going to be battery cables, the throttle cable. Probably have to unhook some wiring here. It's just the main wire to the coil, which would be this guy right here. And then heater cables, which are attached to these ducts. There's the 4 bolts. This air intake right here, which comes off lickety-split, and then the fuel line. This would be this one right here, just the one. Okay, so we're removing the wires right now. I've got generator wires coming off. The only other wires you really need to take off are going to be the oil pressure light wire, which is usually blue or green, like this one here, and then this wire that feeds positive power to the coil from the ignition switch. Okay, so I've got all the wires removed. I removed the fuel line here. Next, we're going to remove the throttle cable. It's just this little barrel nut here. While I'm on the top side of the engine, I'm going to remove this front tin. One more thing we can do while we're above the engine is remove the bolt right here, and I've already removed it. It goes right here in the engine case. It's actually going to go right here in this hole. It's the starter bolt. It's got a little half moon shaped head. I just removed it. All right, we're under the car. One thing a lot of people forget when removing the engine is to remove these cables at the heater ducts. So here's a heat exchanger right above me. And this is the duct here that opens and closes. Now this one is pretty shabby, and you can see it's pretty rigged up here. So I'm just gonna cut this. Okay, we're still under this greasy rig, and as you can see, there's 2 nuts here in the view. We got one on the left side here, one on the right side that my wrench is on, and those are the 2 studs on the engine that go through the transmission. So we remove those 2. Okay, we are about to remove the engine. Just want to show you this tool I use just about every time. It's actually a motorcycle jack, so it's got a nice flat base to set the engine on. Quickly looking at the engine, we've got everything removed that we need to. Notice it's mostly together. You really just don't need to do too much, just bare minimum. It should just slide out and then tip a little bit, tip forward or towards the rear of the car, you know, this kind of way. And then we'll be ready. So we'll do that. All right, motor is out. And there's the Ghia that it came out of. So yeah, you know, we found that this was a little bit too short. So the jack was a little tall. Had to kind of manipulate it around that, tip the engine off the jack, but it's out. You could always use a floor jack. It's a little more compact. So we'll show you when it goes back in what we did.